If you keep thinking this way, you will never leave where you are. And this is not an opinion. It's a pattern. Wait, don't scroll yet, because what you're about to understand can completely change your relationship with money. The Bible says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." And here's the problem. No one taught you how to think properly. You were taught to survive, not to prosper. To work, but not to build. To earn, but not to multiply. And without realizing it, your mind started rejecting wealth. Yes, rejecting. Because every time you see money, your internal system creates conflict. One part of you wants to grow, but another part believes it's not for you. That's the invisible block. That's why you try, but don't move forward. Why you work, but don't grow. Why you see opportunities, but don't take them. It's not lack of intelligence, it's deep mental programming. And the most dangerous part is that this programming feels normal. It feels like this is who I am, but that's not who you are. You were conditioned. And the moment you realize that, something begins to break inside you. Because if it was learned, it can be changed. And this is where everything shifts. You don't need more effort. You need a new way of thinking. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how that transformation begins. But you need to be ready to question everything. And this is where everything becomes deeper. Because this is not just mental, this is also spiritual. Maybe you never saw it this way, but many of your beliefs about money were not created by you. They were planted through experiences, through what you heard, through what you lived, through what you saw growing up. And without realizing it, you built your identity around that. But listen carefully. God did not create a limited mind. God did not create a life meant for scarcity. The Bible says, "I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly." Abundance, not survival. So if today you feel stuck, it's not because you can't move forward. It's because there is a version of you that has not awakened yet. And that awakening does not happen outside. It happens when you begin to see clearly what you once accepted without question. Because the moment you realize you were conditioned, you also realize you can be mentally reborn. Yes, reborn. A new way of thinking, a new way of deciding, a new way of seeing yourself. And that changes everything. Because when your identity changes, your behavior changes. And when your behavior changes, your life has no choice but to follow. But here's the truth most people avoid. This process is not comfortable. You will have to question beliefs. You will have to let go of ideas. You will have to step out of what always felt normal. But on the other side of that process, there is something completely different. Clarity, direction, and an internal feeling that you are aligned with something greater. And when that happens, you stop chasing opportunities and you start recognizing them. But there's something almost no one tells you. Even when you start changing the way you think, your environment stays the same. The same conversations, the same beliefs, the same limitations disguised as reality. And this is where most people fall back, because they start moving forward. But then they doubt. They start changing. But then they question themselves. And slowly, they return to the same place. Not because they can't, but because they didn't sustain the change. Listen to this. Your mind doesn't change in a moment. It is trained through repetition. That's why, at the beginning, you will feel resistance. Your mind will try to pull you back to what is familiar, to what is comfortable, to what is limited. But that is exactly where transformation happens. Not when everything is easy, but when you choose to continue, even in discomfort. And if you push through that point, something begins to stabilize inside you. A new way of thinking starts to feel natural, but that requires more than intention. And here comes a truth that changes everything. It is not enough to have one moment of clarity. You need to turn that clarity into mental discipline, because an idea can inspire you for one day, but only a trained mind can sustain a new life. And this is the point where most people stop. They feel inspired. They understand. They feel like something changed. But the next day, they think the same, speak the same, react the same. And that's how the old identity takes control again. That is why real reprogramming does not happen only when you hear something powerful. It happens when you repeat a new truth, until your mind stops resisting it. Listen carefully. Every time you choose a better thought, even a small one, you are weakening an old structure. Every time you stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will learn," you are building a new mind. And that may not look big at first, but it is, because the brain changes through repetition, identity changes through consistency, and life changes when the new thought stops being emotion and becomes habit. That's why this is not about feeling motivated every day. It's about deciding, even on the days when you feel nothing, because that silent point is where the mind is truly reprogrammed. And if you can sustain that process, even step by step, you will turn intention into real transformation. And this is where everything stops being theory and starts becoming identity. Because there comes a point where you are no longer trying to think differently. You are thinking differently, and that changes everything. Because when your mind stops fighting the change, it starts working for you. And you notice it in small things, in how you react, in how you decide, in what you accept, and what you no longer tolerate. You start feeling that certain things simply no longer align with you. Mentalities, conversations, even people. And it's not arrogance, it's clarity. It's understanding that you cannot build a different life with the same mindset. And something powerful happens here. You stop seeking external validation. You no longer need others to believe in you, because you start believing. And when that happens, your energy changes, your focus changes, your direction changes, and that, inevitably, starts reflecting externally. But there's something important. This new level requires alignment, because it's not enough to think differently. You must begin to act accordingly. And that step is what separates those who understand from those who truly transform their lives. And now, we reach the point where everything is decided, because understanding is not enough. Feeling is not enough. Thinking differently is not enough. There comes a moment where you have to decide that you will no longer react the same way. Decide that you will no longer accept less. Decide that your way of thinking changes today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today, because if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will stay exactly where you are. And here is the truth. Real change does not begin when you feel confident. It begins when you act, even with doubt. When you move forward without having all the answers. Because in that movement, your mind begins to adapt. Your identity becomes stronger. Your reality begins to respond. But there's more. Most people never reach this point because they stay thinking, analyzing, waiting, and time passes and nothing changes. But you are here, and that means something. It means you don't want to stay the same. That something inside you is waking up. And if you made it this far, it's not coincidence, it's decision. And now, all that's left is to prove it through action. And if you've made it this far, you are not the same person who started this video. Maybe you don't fully feel it yet, but something inside you has already shifted. An idea changed, a belief broke, a door opened, And that is more powerful than it seems, because real transformations don't begin with results. They begin with awareness, with that quiet moment where you understand something you couldn't see before. And from that point, everything starts to reorganize. Your decisions, your focus, your way of interpreting life. But here's something important. This process requires consistency. It's not a moment. It's a training, day after day, thought after thought. And when you have guidance, when you have direction, everything becomes clearer, faster and stronger, because you're no longer guessing. You're building a different mind, a different identity, a different life. And the most powerful part is this. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just need to do it consciously and consistently. And if you maintain that process, what feels difficult today will feel natural tomorrow. And now understand this, because it can change everything inside you. It was not a coincidence that this video appeared to you. It was not random that you stayed until this moment. Because when something begins to awaken inside you, God finds a way to get your attention, maybe not through visible signs, but through thoughts, through discomfort, through questions you can't ignore. And what you're feeling right now is not confusion, it's direction. It's that moment when something inside you says, I don't want to stay the same anymore. And when that happens, there is no going back. Because once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you understand, you cannot think the same way again. And that means you are entering a new stage, one where you are no longer guided by fear, but by purpose, where you no longer react, but choose, where you no longer survive, but begin to build. And here's the most powerful part. God is not distant from this process. God is in this process, in every thought you choose to change, in every decision you make differently, in every step, even when you doubt. Because growth is also an act of faith. And when you align your mind with that direction, something begins to organize inside you. And when that becomes aligned, your life inevitably begins to follow. And now everything depends on you, because you've seen it, you've understood it, you've felt it. And that means you can't go back. You can ignore it. You can distract yourself. You can continue as before. But deep down, you know something has changed. And that's the difference between people who stay the same and those who transform their lives. It's not luck. It's not talent. It's decision. The decision that this time you won't drop the process, that you won't go back to the same pattern, that you won't ignore what you already understand. Because from now on, every thought matters, every decision builds, every day counts. And if you want to go deeper into this, if you want a clear step-by-step direction to keep training your mind and strengthening this transformation, there is something in the first link that can help you more than you think. But before that, do something simple. If you truly feel this message was for you, write in the comments, God is with me. And don't let that be just a phrase. Let it be a decision. And now, don't stop here. This is just one step. The next episode can open your mind even more and show you what comes next. Because this is only the beginning.